What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your host with the most, White Boy 7th Street, and we are back on the battlefield. And I want to talk about Infinite Warfare Beta versus the Battlefield Beta. I think they both have their advantages and disadvantages, and I think it's very interesting and a fun topic to talk about. We're talking about the two biggest FPS games. I mean, Overwatch is up there now, but Battlefield, Call of Duty, they've been competing, and I think this year it's got to be closer than ever. Battlefield's at its highest, and Call of Duty is kind of at one of its lowest points that it's ever been at, and I like the competition between the two games. So, this year, they both have betas, which I think is fantastic. The consumer, the gamer, cannot lose when they have open, free betas. Now, on Infinite Warfare, you have to pre-order it to get a code, but codes are so readily available because there's a link down below. If you pre-order it on Amazon, if you have Prime, it's not $80 for the COD 4 remastered and Infinite Warfare. I think it's only $64. I pre-ordered it and I got it for $64, but you also get a pre-order beta code. Now you can cancel, allegedly you can just cancel your beta purchase before you get charged for it and still get to experience the beta and test it out for yourself. So that link is in the description down below if you have Amazon. So I did that, and we get to see what Infinite Warfare is going to be all about. Now, the advantages and disadvantages, if you look last year for Black Ops 3, the beta was almost better than the full game. Obviously, there wasn't zombies and all the maps and stuff, but the beta was so fun, and whatever patch they had on the beta, everything was balanced, and it was balanced in a really fun, cool way. And they had 3, and then they released another map, 4 of the best maps on Black Ops 3. And one of the biggest complaints on the Battlefield 1 beta was the fact that it was this desert map over and over and over again. And I think that was the biggest complaint from a lot of veteran players of the series and people in general. And I'm assuming that this map was probably the worst map in Battlefield. I can only assume that. I don't know. I haven't played all the maps. I only played one other map. That map was way better than the desert map, but I felt like the desert map had opportunity for all different types of play styles to be utilized. So it kind of gave a good scope of the game, and I think a lot of players had a positive experience with Battlefield 1, and I'm one of those players. I'm not here making a hating video on either side. I think it's great. Both of them have a beta and we can both test it out, but if history repeats itself, and Call of Duty repeats itself pretty much every year, I think that they're going to release it with 3 or 4 maps that are really, really good. With Black Ops 3, they released maps that I felt the movement system really got to show off in a good way. Combine was a perfect map to put in the beta. After playing those maps, like just those 3 maps over and over and over again, you kind of get sick of it. For the beta, it's a really good experience. It's a really good way to sell the game, and it's kind of weird. Battlefield made a very interesting choice picking the desert map for the beta, and like I said earlier, it does give a chance and spot for all play styles to shine. So I think they did a pretty good job on that regard. But when it comes to Call of Duty this year, I'm a little concerned for a few different reasons. With the Black Ops 3 beta last year, I kind of got burnt out on the 4 maps that they offered, and I felt like most of the multiplayer experience could be found in the Black Ops 3 beta, and I got a little burnt out on that. In Battlefield this year, you're not going to have that problem. You might not want to play this map ever again if you put in as many hours as I did, but I like this map and I like Battlefield, and I got a good experience with the Battlefield 1 beta. I had a very good experience with the Black Ops 3 beta, and I think that's one of its benefits, that Call of Duty's betas show off a lot of the game. It's more of a demo, and with Battlefield, I feel like they spent some time listening to the community and they have enough time to adequately change it for the full release. So another benefit that Infinite Warfare has, it's got to be closer to launch, and it's got to be a little bit more polished. So that's one thing that Infinite Warfare has going for it. For Battlefield 1, it was pretty smooth besides the first 2 days of the beta. There were some connecting issues, and on console it lasted a little bit longer. This guy dropped down to get bayonet charged. Unlucky for him. But I think Battlefield showed a lot of players like myself that kind of didn't give Battlefield 4 a full chance just because of the fact that it had a lot of launch issues with connections, and it was just very, very frustrating. I think it was solid in performing. Those first few days, obviously, there was a little bit of mix-up with the servers and problems connecting, but it seemed like they fixed them, and better to have the problems day 1, day 2, day 3 of the beta and then fix them at a later date, especially for a launch. So I think they did a good job with that. I think it's good for consumers. I'm very happy that both of these games have a beta and we can test them out. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel. Please leave a like if you want some more Battlefield 1 content. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I hope you guys are too. There's been a lot of positive feedback, honestly, for both games, and I just wanted to talk about the competition between two of my favorite games now. I love first-person shooters, and I'm fascinated with this rivalry, and I'm kind of on both sides, because when competition is good and there's these million-dollar companies, billion-dollar companies, it just makes for better products for us, and it's been a great time to be a gamer, and especially a first-person shooter gamer. And there's a lot of good games coming out, and I'm really excited, and I can't wait for the beta. I can't wait for Battlefield 1, Modern Warfare Remastered. What a time to be alive.